So the Bills lines. The only reason I want to talk about it because I think it's important for the outlook of the season. I think Josh Allen's starting to get a little bit of mojo back. And here's the thing: they're actually starting to run the ball a little bit more now. Are they putting up major production on the ground? Not really, not yet. But they're at least committed to the run to kind of take a little bit of the burden off Josh Allen. We saw that when they played the Browns as well, also in Detroit because the whole snowstorm thing. But we saw that too, where they just committed to running the football more, whether it had a lot of great outcomes or not, because it's going to open up so much on the back end for Josh that you're going to make up for what you're not going to get in the running game just by being more balanced.
And you have to start to alleviate some of that pressure that's on Josh Allen at some point. You can't just I mean, for 17 games out of the season, you can't do that. You can't rely on him for every single one. You're going to have to find a way to supplement that somehow. And at least they're starting to move in that direction. Yeah, I saw some of that.
Right. And so the thing with Josh is, the stats might not have been crazy, right? He only completed about 57% of his throws. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, like an 81 QBR. Again, like we talked about with Herbert and Lawrence, right? When it counted, though, throwing seeds down the field. I mean, really looking good when he needed to in the fourth quarter. So, let's talk a little bit about that Justin Herbert and Cardinals game. Again, I think this is important because what do you do if you're the Cardinals? So you're 4-8. Yeah. There's been turbulence with your front office and your quarterback, and your coach and your quarterback. We're not really convinced if you even have the right coach. I think you have the right quarterback.
I'm not convinced you have the right quarterback.
So
I mean, what has
I wouldn't say I'm fully convinced.
What has Kyler done to prove to you, though, that he can be the franchise guy? I mean, he's shown so much inconsistency up until this point. I mean, some days he looks like the shiftiest guy in the league, and nobody can tackle him, and nobody can contain him, and he's running, and he's controlling the game and doing whatever Kyler wants to do. But then there's other games where he just is a non-factor. It does nothing.
No, I get it, right? Here's my argument for Kyler, and I could see both arguments. Like either we can't really move off Kyler now that you signed him, but I can see your argument for or against Kyler. Here's the argument I would say for him is that he's talented enough that any given Sunday you have a shot. You drive to the stadium, you can build your team knowing that any given Sunday Kyler can lead you to a victory. But now, does he do it enough? Probably not, but he's any given Sunday significantly more talented than the guy across the sideline.
Sure, but is Kyler the guy that can lead your team to a playoff run and then eventually to a Super Bowl? Because, I mean, look, the standards in Arizona are a little bit higher than just, having a shot in every game you're in. I mean, they're trying to win Super Bowls. I don't think he's the guy that's going to win Super Bowls for them.
I mean, I'm not telling you you're crazy. Yeah. If I asked you today, you had to move off either the coach or the quarterback in Arizona,
I would say coach first.
Okay, right, coach first. And I think Kyler at this point has earned a second coach.
Yes,
I think Kyler's earned a second coach, and so he
and coach
probably
is way easier. Coach is way easier to replace than a quarterback.
Yeah. Which is crazy because 70% of coaches still don't hit to begin with.
Yes,
but that's still a better percentage.
Finding a quarterback that has the skill set of a Kyler, yes, that's rare. He just has to start using it consistently.
Right, so I would say give Kyler another coach. I don't know. That's not a fun spot to be in.
There's a lot of question marks.
I would say the spot with coach quarterback duo that is least favorable and somehow even less favorable than Arizona would be the Broncos.
Yeah.
I mean, so what do you do, right? Which I think absolutely you can't cut Russ. I don't think that's even on the table. But as a thought exercise and to just kind of put into perspective how kind of restrained Denver now is going forward contractually, right? If they cut him,
they're in some
next year. It'd be like a $73 million dead cap hit. The year after would be like a $103 million dead cap hit that you'd be paying Russell Wilson not to play for your team.
You're stuck. They are completely stuck.
With Russ, at least. There's almost no way, unless it's a trade, which there's no way.
Who would absorb that? Because nobody's going to absorb that dead cap.
There's no way.
And to make matters worse, I think Nathaniel Hackett is up there for the worst coach in the league this year. I mean, I feel like at the end of the season we should kind of do like best and worst, a little bit of a rankings thing. And
sure,
right
we'll
now,
top five, bottom
if we're doing that, he's dead last. He has cemented himself dead last.
I mean, so yeah, here we got some time. We're kind of just shooting the blank for those whatever. Anyway, so thought exercise. Just run through the teams. Right, so Stefanski. I think I'd take Stefanski over Hackett.
100%.
Harbaugh, not even a question.
Yep.
Tomlin, not even a question. I don't even think Zach Taylor's a question. He's been to a Super Bowl.
Nope. I'll take Zach Taylor.
Okay. Vrabel, no. Lovie Smith, you have an argument, but he's been around so long. His experience, I'd probably take him over Hackett.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson, absolutely.
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles, absolutely. I was kind of going by division here. I guess Jeff Saturday, but
yeah.
We won't even count him right now.
I haven't seen enough from Jeff Saturday.
Right. Mike McDaniel, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sean McDermott, yep. Belichick, yep.
Yep.
Saleh, yep.
Yep.
Okay. Now in his own division, Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. He's at least shown flashes, and you can kind of see his impact.
Yep.
Josh Jacobs has gotten significantly better with their schemes. Derek Carr still looks pretty good. Devontae Adams is fitting in seamlessly. It's their defense that's a problem. He's an offensive guy.
Yeah.
Andy Reid, obviously. Brandon Staley, I would still take him. I don't love him, but I'd still take him over Hackett.
Way over Hackett, yeah.
LaFleur, O'Connell.
Literally almost
Dan
everybody.
Campbell.
Literally almost everybody.
I'd still take Todd Bowles over him.
Yeah.
100%.
I think so.
Marcus Allen, the guy in New Orleans, debatable. He's defensive, so I might lean Hackett, but also Hackett
hasn't
really
been
bad.
Yeah, he's offensive
awful.
leaning.
He's awful.
But he can't put together an offense that scores points.
He's awful.
So
he's terrible.
Yeah.
No, he is the worst coach. We're going to cement that. He's the worst coach
so.
in the league. All right. Kind of just went in there on Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
All right, let's go Ravens and Jags. So we kind of touched on this a little bit, that Trevor Lawrence is a stud. But that's now the Ravens' fourth loss, and all four losses have come when they've led by 10 or more points.
Mm-hmm.
10 or more.
So
and three of them have been 10 or more in the fourth quarter.
Let's not forget, for a while, people were saying, oh, well, Lamar Jackson doesn't know how to play from behind. Well, now it looks like Lamar Jackson doesn't know how to play with a lead. I mean, it's just...
So, I mean, what do you do? Like, you're
get
not
some
going to
more
make any
offensive weapons for him to throw to.
Right. You're not going to make any drastic changes.
Look, because they are way too one-dimensional. After watching them, they can't do anything except run the football, and if they can get something play action with Lamar, that's about it.
Dude, I mean, his top target was a guy named Josh Oliver, who has 11 catches for 130 yards all season. He's their third-string tight end.
Yeah.
I think you do need, you need to give him more pieces, but do you need to make a sweeping move anywhere, a coach or quarterback? I don't think so.
No, nothing crazy. You have one of the best coaches in the league, and you have a top talent in the league at quarterback. He's just not playing at it currently. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if he has an injury that he's been playing through. He's just not looking the same. I think you definitely have the coach. You definitely have nothing crazy. But you need to go make some trades for. I guess you can't trade, but you need to go get offensive pieces ASAP.
And it might not even be this year, but going forward with Lamar's contract negotiation, how bad do you think it hurts it? You think this lack of able to seize games when you have it right there?
You're
in front
crazy
of you?
if you don't think it hurts it in some way, because he was playing this year for that
for
big
his
contract. He knew it. Everybody knew it. He's playing this year for that big contract. And right now I wouldn't pay him. Right now, would you pay Lamar?
Depends what the number is. Depends what the number is.
He
wants fully guaranteed, so no.
If he asks to be fully guaranteed, top 5 money, you pay him.
I think even if he's playing at MVP level right now, I wouldn't pay him fully guaranteed money.
I agree.
No. All right. Well, let's talk about that Steelers-Colts game. So
that was
really good first half from the Steelers. This is the second straight week now. They've had a really nice offensive first half.
Yeah.
But it's also the second straight week where we've kind of turned on a dime in the second half and looked pretty poor. Mm-hmm. Good news is, again, when it mattered most, they had to have it. They had it. Kenny Pickett with numerous really, really nice throws. Really nice throws on that last drive. On that last drive, that was impressive.
And those are the kind of drives you need as a rookie.
On the road, primetime, rookie.
And I know the Colts aren't great, but still.
Their defense isn't bad at all, though.
You go on the road, you get a win in the NFL. It's something to talk about.
So did you know he was actually graded out as the #1 quarterback by Pro Football Focus this week?
Really?
Yeah, according to throws, accuracy, timing, ball placement to help with yards after the catch. They take all factors into consideration. And he was an 87 or an 88, which was the #1 quarterback of Week 12.
Look, I know it's a little bit early still, I guess. I guess it's not. It might be reasonable to bring it up. I mean, we've talked about it with all these other teams. Is it time to make a coaching or quarterback switch in Pittsburgh? Do they need to make a sweeping change?
No. Well, Canada, yes. Head coach, quarterback, no. You're certainly not going to change.
I mean,
Kenny
you brought
now.
up and you're not going to change Tomlin now.
Well,
but
yeah. I mean, after the season,
there have
here's
been
the
some
thing.
interesting points that we brought up on this show. You came to the conclusion with look. We've had 4 coordinators, and we've had the same problem. So is it a Tomlin problem?
I don't think it's a Tomlin problem, and I think depending on where you end up in the draft, which won't be high enough to probably get one of the top quarterbacks, I think you stick with Pickett. But I've also been back and forth that you move off on. I don't really know what you do. But nonetheless, it was good to see him get a win on the road, rookie. All right, so let's go. God, I guess